Hey fellow backyard boyers, Nick here. Today I want to show you how to make your own glue-on nocks for arrows. These are made out of PEX plastic tubing and can fit pretty much any arrow that accepts glue-on nocks. And the nocks themselves can be adjusted to fit almost any string size and can be modified for different archery styles. These are also great as a substitute for self nocks on wooden dowels or other DIY arrow materials. It's just a little safer. Let's get started. We're going to be making this nock out of a piece of 1/4 inch PEX tubing that's cross-linked polyethylene. If you can't find this, you can also use polyethylene pipe, though it may be a little harder to sand. The next thing you want to do is mark the tubing at every inch. We're going to cut this down, and each piece is going to be 1 inch long. The easiest way I've found to cut a lot of these is to take a pair of garden shears and just go with a fine file or some sandpaper and sharpen it up a little bit more. Now that we have our piece cut, we can get to shaping. Now I'm going to shape the nock with my belt sander. A trick I've found is to take the end of a round file and just give it a couple light twists, and it'll hold itself in place so you can do all of your sanding and grinding. And before you sand and grind this, be sure to wear adequate lung and eye protection. Now you flip it over, and we'll finish up shaping the end. I'm going to start by grinding a roughly 45-degree angle, and then once I've got that very thin, I'll use that as a guide to finish up the rest of the taper. And here's the nock after grinding. So now it's time to cut the notch in the end of the nock. Cross-linked polyethylene is fairly abrasion resistant, so you probably won't be able to do this with a regular file. I'm going to be using a rod saw, which is basically a metal rod with carbide grit attached, and it will cut this. So we're going to need to cut the notch 1/4 inch deep. You could cut the notch by eye, but because I have the Nifty Knocker by Ted Fry of Raptor Archery, I'm going to be using this instead. I'm just going to push this down, line it up to a cutting depth of 1/4 inches, and tighten it up. So now I take the rod saw and I just start cutting. And there's the rough cut nock. So now I'm going to take a piece of sandpaper and clean out the notch. I just want to take off any sharp edges and smooth it out on the inside. And I'm also rounding off the interior so that it slips onto the string a little easier. Now that I've finished sanding, you can see it's still very fuzzy, and this is because the plastic is very wear resistant and doesn't want to be sanded. So I'm just going to smooth this out with a little bit of flame. And also do that to any other fuzzy parts of the nock, just to finish it off. I'm going to heat this end just a little bit more and then snap it onto this bowstring. And then just give it a little squeeze at the back end. And just test the fit to see if that is enough to hold it in place, but not too much so that it's hard to get it on and off. There we go. So that's it for today. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.